Welcome back. Our next virus is Calicivirus. When you hear Calici, think Cali Sea, because this sketch is going to take place along the beautiful California coast on a cruise ship. So welcome to the Calici cruise. And wait for it. See those three dragons? Alternatively, this is the Calici cruise for those of you who are Game of Thrones fans. So Calicivirus is a positive sense, single-stranded RNA virus. Notice the warm colors, especially in the sky. These yellow-orange tones remind you that we're dealing with an RNA virus. And to remember it's a positive sense RNA virus, it's a nice, sunny day, perfect for cruising, and definitely a positive thing. Also, the glare from our sun makes a nice plus sign to help you remember this positivity. This virus is also a naked virus, so we'll use our recurring symbol, the naked statue of David, and we'll put it here on the right in the sand. This kid building David out of sand is actually Brian, our art director. And you can tell by this look of dissatisfaction in his face with creating this statue. He's about to tear it down and start over. What a perfectionist. Alright, now it's time for some passengers to board the ship. We can see the cruise line attendant helping the passengers onto the ship and checking out their tickets. If you look at the tickets, it's one long round strand of tickets that are then being broken up piece by piece into functional single tickets. This is to remind you that Calicivirus produces one long polyprotein that then needs to be processed and cleaved by viral proteases into smaller active constituents. Where else have you seen that? And that's right, the coronavirus overview video. Finally, just remember, like all positive sense RNA viruses, Calicivirus replicates in the cytoplasm. And we're not representing that because all positives do, but this is just a friendly reminder. And now we get to the real fun. Board relevant material specific to Calicivirus. First, the most common type of Calicivirus we deal with clinically is norovirus, sometimes referred to as Norwalk virus. So let's add a memory hook for norovirus. We'll add a narwhal breaching out of the water. So what's a narwhal? Well, it's a fictitious character, a legend, a sea unicorn. Actually, it's not fictitious. It's real, supposedly, but I personally choose not to believe in narwhals. Anyway, here's the mystical narwhal to represent norovirus. So, what type of people does this virus affect? Well, first, norovirus outbreaks can commonly happen anywhere there are lots of people in close quarters. Outbreaks are especially common on cruises, and is responsible for over 90% of all outbreaks of diarrheal illness on cruises, hence the cruise theme. It also has a strong association with young children and daycare facilities or schools. So we've made all of our passengers on the ship children. Finally, there's one other way it's commonly transmitted, and that's through consumption of shellfish, like oysters, and other foods that are handled and served raw. We've added a shellfish buffet because, for one, consumption of shellfish is associated with norovirus, but also any situation where food is touched by people can transmit the illness, as in a buffet situation. So, norovirus commonly affects cruise ship passengers, children, and shellfish eaters. Essentially, everyone who's at risk is pictured on this poop deck. And quite literally, it's a poop deck. As I mentioned, norovirus causes diarrheal illness, but not just any diarrhea. It really causes a viral gastroenteritis that can be explosive. So, to hammer this home, check out the back of the ship. The ship's aft. Damn, that ship's got a nice aft. Actually, not really. Because look, we've added a huge propeller that's spitting in the mud and shooting out chunks of liquid brown mud that looks a lot like diarrhea. Who knows, maybe you're into that sort of thing, but for those of us who aren't, it's kind of gross, but easy to remember. So that's the high-yield material for norovirus. And I want to leave you with a quote. As William Osler so fittingly said, "He or she who studies medicine without books sails an uncharted sea. But he who studies medicine without patience does not go to sea at all. So I guess if you're using Sketchy Micro to study and not using any books, Osler would say you're sailing an uncharted sea. Well, I'd like to welcome you to this uncharted sea. A sea full of mystical creatures and explosive diarrhea. All I can say is, I guess you get what you pay for.